Report a shot fired at officers trying to stop the vehicle.
We have one officer shot.
We got shots fired. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
Copy, code red, shots fired.
We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Now it's Shots Fired with your host, TJ Kirgin, Dynadeath Milberg.
Welcome back to the next episode of Shots Fired, episode 194.
Right after 193.
That is correct, because the last one we did was 193.
Alleged. 193 episodes we've been doing this so far. Same intro music. Real quick.
I like intro music.
I found an alternative.
Okay. Got to put it up to the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Atomic D9, begging for your life. Running your mouth, got your ass in trouble. Face fucked with a shovel.
Welcome to Shots Fired. Did he just say face effed with a shovel?
Yes.
That's a good thing we're not monetized.
Yes. Emo music's weird.
Yeah, okay. I like it. I'm not sure it should be the new intro music for
Too much.
Shots Fired. I don't know what the fans decide. You know, that's what the comment section is for, right?
Yeah.
If you think face fucked with a shovel
By peeling flesh
should be the new intro music or the outro music for the Shots Fired, let us know in the comments.
I'm a man of taste.
Besides that, hey, we got a lot of good comments about our last show. Did you read any of them?
Good.
Yeah.
No, I can't
People
read.
are like,
I know
hey, man, I'm so glad you guys are back, blah, blah, blah. And we totally lied to them in the last show because we were like, we're going to do this every week, every Friday. These shows are going to hit every Saturday, blah, blah, blah. And then you got pneumonia.
Yes, a lot. There was a double ear infection, bronchitis, sinusitis, pneumonia, death.
It was the jackpot.
Yeah.
How did but you don't even seem like there's anything wrong. And this was like, your diagnosis was literally 48 hours ago.
No, it was Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
It was Tuesday or Wednesday. But she told me, I'm like, I'm supposed to go out of town this weekend. Am I going to be okay? She's like, oh, this amount of steroid and antibiotics, 48 hours, you'll be golden. She's not kidding. A little bit of a cough left, but they doubled up on antibiotics.
You like those steroids, don't you?
It does feel good.
Yeah.
My inhaler, it's weird. You hit it, and then for about 10 minutes after, I'm like, Ozzy Osbourne. Just, well, he's shaking. He's rest in peace.
Okay.
Rest in peace, homie.
So anyway, hey, Shots Fired. We talk about shootings. We talk about guns. We talk about gun laws. We talk about what happened during, before, and after the shooting, if there is one.
There's been a lot of all the above.
Has there?
Has
Has there been any shootings in the last week or so of noteworthiness?
I would say so. Hey, what is this? It's really sad to say. It's hard to keep track of how many assassination attempts
I believe
there
this.
been on the
I
current
think
president.
this is assassination attempt number
3 or 4.
Well,
I think 3.
I think it's 3 officially.
The guy at the rally,
Yeah.
then the guy
The guy
at
that
Mar-a-Lago.
pierced his ear.
Yes. But wait, they shot that other guy a couple months back who was trying to get on Mar-a-Lago. Trump wasn't there, but he was still trying to get in. That
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess
they give it a half.
kind of counts.
So 3.5.
And then there's the golf course guy that was laid up at the golf course with the AK or whatever, and then they finally caught him later after the Secret Service shot at him and missed.
Yeah.
So at Mar-a-Lago golf course, they had an armed guy in a bush. The Secret Service agent mag dumps on him, and he gets up and runs away. Now, in the Secret Service agent's defense, the guy did have a body armor staged as kind of hardcover for himself, so that could have. But I mean, come on, you're talking about an 8x12 plate hanging from a tree, and the guy got up and ran. But anyway,
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because this recent assassination attempt, which for some reason the media really hasn't called it that much.
They're really trying to incident.
At first, it was
incident.
shooting near the event. The
Like
White
it made it
House.
sound like it was another building away or something.
The White House, what they call that? What's the press?
Press, yeah.
It's where all the reporters from the left and the right get together and have dinner and free drinks and stuff, and the president actually roasts them. I think it would have been epic to actually.
In the past, some of it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, because he's funny when he does that.
Yes.
But anyway, so this guy literally said that he was there to kill Trump and or administration officials, and there was plenty of those on hand. And so this is assassination attempt number 3 or 4. We're not 100%.
We'll go with 3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Everybody's seen the videos by now. If you haven't, just go to Instagram and, talk about assassinating the president out loud, and then you should see it in your algorithm.
Strange.
Or somebody will open your door in about 20 minutes.
Or both.
Yeah. And so with that, this guy, he's the perfect leftist hitman.
Almost weirdly so.
Yeah. I mean, so this guy actually was a California resident.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to have cool guns in California.
Think about it. I think all his guns met California qualifications.
Oh, absolutely. Because all he had was a pump shotgun
And a 1911.
and a Rock River 1911
Lord's caliber.
And-
Two World Wars, brother.
and a couple knives. He had 4 knives because he was ready to, if the shit with the shotgun
Dollar General blade.
Yeah, it was the blades were something else. But obviously the guy's a whack job.
Yeah.
But the first thing they published was the name. I'm not going to name them, but the name of the tactical shooting center, the gun shop that he shopped at and he bought. Every time something like this happens, the first thing I do is go to our website back end and I'm like, please, please, please do not have bought anything from us ever.
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy had bought some stuff from that California gun shop, which, by the way, when I looked at their pictures online, they had a bunch of AR-15s on the wall that weren't California compliant. And I thought that was unusual. They had muzzle devices and pistol grips and whatnot. Maybe it was like 20-year-old photos or something.
Who knows? I can't
Nonetheless,
track of all.
so this who's got a shotgun, a 1911, and a bunch of knives, and he gets a room at the hotel a day or two before the event because it's a public event. It's everybody knows it's going to happen.
Yep.
And he just and tell me you know a little bit more about how he staged the weapons.
So they had 2 different videos, and one of them shows, I believe, the night before, there was what seemed to be a gym right next to the controlled entrance point to the room.
Okay.
They had double metal detectors set up for everyone coming in and out. And maybe, it's hard to tell depth in a video, maybe 20 yards or less, probably closer to 10 or 15 from the control point was, if you're facing from the metal detectors, on the right-hand side looks to be a little hotel gym, which most hotels
So if you're
have.
facing the same direction he came running from.
Yes,
It'd
and
be
you
on the
can
right.
see in the video, this was the day before he goes in and stages something. The night of the event, you see him come in, duck into this room. Step 1 right there. Okay. You have inner and outer cordons when you're providing security. Inner cordon would have been the room, the hall where everyone's meeting. Outer cordon, there should have been a radius or something. That room should have been well inside that radius where everything else is checked and secured and people are not in or out. If I was a Secret Service, that gym would not have been accessible within 48 hours of the ceremony. I mean, I would
Maybe
think that's common sense.
maybe sweep the room.
Yeah.
Maybe sweep the entire premise for
Well,
weapons.
In front of multiple law enforcement and Secret Service, he comes towards them, goes into the room, retrieves his gear, gears up, comes out the door, and bolts like Usain Bolt right at...
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's like Usain Bolt with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Comes running right through the metal detectors and blasts agent number 1 right in the chest.
at a full sprint. Like, honestly,
That looked,
that's not easy to do.
looked like some stuff we would have seen back in the days of shooting, IDPA. Or
Yeah.
something, just
And you
hauling
can-
butt trying to hit that target. And-
One officer responded quick. He had, sub-second holster draw.
Yeah, that was the black guy, right?
Yeah, it was
He was
impressive.
like a cop. He wasn't even an agent.
No, the
but he-
Secret Service guy staying around with his hands in his pockets. He was too busy watching them tear down the metal detector to see this guy coming out of the gym with weapons. That
Is he the guy that got shot? Is that who you're talking about?
I see.
Because-
I can't tell from
so
the video. He might have
the
been.
agent. It was confusing, but the agent that gets blasted in the chest is the only agent that fires.
Yeah.
Right. And he fired 5 times at the running suspect.
Yeah.
And missed him every time. None of the other agents fired, and I would assume that is because there were other agents in the crossfire, and they were in the process of physically taking him down with NFL tackle.
Yeah, and I mean, he was headed towards a ballroom filled with people too. So you're limited on what directions you can engage. That at least follow the safety rule of know your target, consider
Imagine, though, if instead of lefty liberal nut job from California armed with a 12 gauge, you had somebody like, with the skills of Lucas Botkin. All of those agents would have been dead.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
Can he run, though? That was the biggest thing. I mean, if you got Bubba with all his tactical gear on, Bubba wouldn't have made it 5 feet because Bubba can't run.
Yeah. That's just a thought.
Yeah.
So anyway, two of the assassination attempts involve Secret Service agents engaging the threat with active gunfire and failing to neutralize the threat.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, I'm going to give mad props to the agent who was able to still return fire after being shot point blank with a 12 gauge in the chest.
That's that. Even with armor on, that's gonna hurt.
I'm sure that thumped him a bit.
Yeah, that's you're gonna be shook.
I'm not gonna break his balls over not making those rounds count.
Yeah,
but it does go to speak a little bit to and I saw the head of the Secret Service the other day getting interviewed on Fox News, and they're like, why did he miss all 5? And the guy's like, well,
they've been getting raked over the toes the past 2 years.
These guys should be John Wick, right?
Yeah, I mean, DEI has been a bitch for Secret Service. I'm just gonna say.
Oh yeah, like the chick. Did you see the chick was there? The one from the field, the assassination attempt.
He strikes again.
She was there.
Yeah.
The one that's kind of Humpty Frumpty that
yes,
you can't really tell if she's a he or a she.
Yes.
Or an it or a they.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't stopping anything other than the buffet line.
Yeah.
I said that.
But I mean, I have mad respect for the Secret Service. I think they're awesome. I think it'd be a kick butt job to have. I think that they put their lives on the line every day, and I just wonder a bit about their
maybe training standards should be bumped a little bit.
Maybe so get rid of some of that DEI.
Yeah,
and maybe train a little harder. Maybe get Pete Hegseth in charge of setting up their training standards.
Yeah. I mean, love them or hate them. A lot of people have been hating them. Hegseth has made some good choices.
Yeah, I like the guy. I'm not former military though, so I don't know how you feel about it.
Make hazing great again.
Yeah,
I'll just say that much. Sure, all the moms who have sons who join the Marine Corps are ready to murder me just for saying that, but make hazing great again. That's what it should be.
I don't know. I mean, I know Marine Corps moms that think that, that should be a thing.
I've heard.
Not beating them in bed with a tube sock full of soap.
I mean, it depends on what they did.
7.62 millimeter, but, some scary hazing teaches a man respect, fear of his elders, basically his pecking order in the grand scheme of things.
Some people have never had to do shots followed by squad push-ups while singing "Baby Hit Me One More Time" to Lance Corporal Hensley's girlfriend at 2 a.m, and it shows.
Yeah, I went to the police academy in 2005, and I used to have to run around saying, "Don't let your dingle dangle dangle to the south. Pick up your dingle dangle, put it in her mouth."
I'm not allowed to repeat back our cadences because they were banned by the Marine Corps.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't do that stuff anymore. I don't remember the one about the plastic Jesus on the dashboard, though.
I heard that one.
Yeah.
So, you want to go over guns?
Yeah.
We
are
the White House Correspondents Association dinner.
Correct.
That's what it was.
Which they're going to have again.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to watch. I'm sure the ratings will be through the roof. But so We Are the Mighty, I think, did the story. Not sure what you're looking at there, but what are the guns that were on the scene? What do we see?
So you can tell by this list who had what. Knight's Armament SR-16. The tactic dudes that came out from behind the stage and grabbed Trump. That's what they had. Looked to be, shockingly too, they got away from the Knight suppressors, and it was the new Huxworks suppressor.
Really?
Add on a L3 Engol laser, Surefire Scout, and a Night Force, probably an attack R1A8 or NX8. And some had aim point red dots with magnifier. So, Gucci dream setup right there.
We should probably, at Tactical Shit, we should probably just offer that as a package. Call it the...
If you could get a Knight's Armament rifle, I would. Gucciest of all, but obviously, the HK MP7, which is unobtainium.
Yeah. Well, actually, they're getting ready to sell those. I'm pretty sure. I've heard the rumors that the MP7 is coming to the civilian market.
Yep.
Semi-automatic, obviously.
And this, according to We the Mighty, this is most likely an FBI agent. That's what they typically get.
Mm-hmm.
One of the female officers, Secret Service, Glock 43X, and it looks to be, just from the picture, they were saying Hollow Sun. I do not think that was Hollow Sun. From the picture, it looks like exactly like we have on our retail floor right now, the new Glock 43X COA.
Okay.
It is a collaboration between Glock and Aimpoint, where the Glock slide is now specifically milled, and Aimpoint made a specific optic for Glock slide milled for that combo, and it is awesome. I'll show you after the show. We have both the 19 and the 43X COA combo.
Why would a female Secret Service agent be carrying a 43X?
The same capacity as 19, but smaller hands. The new Gen
Was it
6.
Humpty Frumpty? Was it her?
No, it was her Hobbit cousin.
Oh, okay.
Next would be the Sig Sauer P320. I was really shocked.
Wait.
There is one of those.
Wait, there was a P320
Yes.
on this scene, and
Yes.
it wasn't in the hands of the bad guy,
Yes,
and it didn't go off.
unconfirmed. Next, we can figure out who had this one. Mossberg Maverick 88.
Okay, that sounds like a California compliant assault weapon.
And, now I didn't know that. Interesting. Rock Island 1911, but chambered in 38.
38 Super.
I did not know that.
Just like the cartel dudes from our last show.
Interesting.
38 Super.
Also,
Maybe, I wonder if that guy was like a competition shooter. Because it showed that he did a lot of range time, like he
could be. That is the round
the whole
choice.
running and shooting in 38 Super. I wonder if he ever went to an IDPA or a USPSA match.
He's like a IPSC grandmaster.
Do you think he ever did the El Prez?
Oh, what?
He's got a picture of Trump in his bedroom doing the El Prez with his dry fire every night.
Man, I never even put two and two together. That could.
That's because you can't count. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on.
So that was it for weapons. But this article led me to
Except for
another.
the knives.
Didn't say anything about knives.
Forget the knives. Knives are very important. What is that? You got a thing? Oh no,
Benchmade SOCP.
Dynamis.
If I'm feeling
Razorback?
lazy, I go with this.
Yeah.
This is great for on the bike, so it doesn't poke you in the wanger.
Yeah.
The holster that gets uncomfortable
I like
at times.
I like it.
But another article popped up. Canadian soldier sues Sig Sauer for alleged P320 uncommanded discharge.
And this guy wasn't at the dinner.
No, unrelated. But Sig Sauer 320, since we're on that subject, have now created their own classification of discharge. You have accidental discharge, you have negligent discharge, and now
And you have
there
vaginal
is,
discharge.
I don't believe that goes with firearms, but that is qualified, yes. Now there is uncommanded discharge.
Uncommanded discharge.
Yes. Do you suffer from uncommanded discharge? Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a commercial, but that is now a new thing.
It was way funnier when you did that before the mics were live.
Should have just gone with that.
Do you suffer from uncommanded discharge? 6 Hour has what you need to resolve your uncommanded discharge.
I mean,
It's called the P365.
congratulations, Sig, to having a gun that sucks so bad. It now has its own classification.
Please, Sig, do not sue us.
No, please don't. I'm just joking. Take a joke.
Hey, you know what?
Better than your guns take a holster. Boom.
You know what? You know what guns don't go off when you drop them?
POF.
It's like I see that up for you.
I know.
Dan, do you notice that all the guns behind us on the wall are Patriot Ordnance Factory?
The best of the best.
It may have something to do with the fact that they don't sponsor this show. No, they actually, well, I work for them. And I love working for Patriot Ordnance Factory. It's something I'm a marketing guy, and I work for several companies within the industry, but Patriot Ordnance Factory is the rifle manufacturer that I'm currently working for. And we've got a whole host of their toys.
When you told me that's who you're talking to, so excited. Been a POF fanboy for a while. man, when it comes to fit, finish, quality, ingenuity, piston systems,
It's God tier.
yeah, even revolutionary DI setups. They're arguably one of the top rifles out there, and they've kind of redone things that now they were in a different tier before. Where they're great, but you're going to drop $3,000, and they now have rifles that are affordable for everyone's budget. And I got to say, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm
They
really
have
impressed
not
with
dropped their quality.
I think it was 14.5, 14.8.
13.9.
13.9.
That's
and that's
becoming the new bougie length.
And that's a 308 small frame.
Yeah, you wouldn't guess it if it wasn't for the
It's
mag.
the original small frame 308,
Yes.
and it weighs 6 pounds.
Yeah. 6 pound 308. So you're looking for a deer gun, you got to hump through the mountains or through the woods and don't want to zap your energy. Man, that's the same as walking around with an AR.
Or if you just want to defend your home with a man's caliber.
Exactly.
Pretty cool stuff. So you're going to be seeing a lot from POF. We're going to be talking about the specific guns and the things they do, from their exclusive, 22 to their lever action 9mm. They got all kinds of cool stuff. And especially the thing I can't wait to get my grubby little hands on is their new PST-7 titanium suppressor with helical flow technology.
I've been hearing a lot of good about that.
It's a 30 cal can. They're only doing it because they are the originator of the small frame 308. So they started their Patriots suppression technology. That's what PST-7 stands for.
Okay.
They started it with the 30 cal, and then they're going to do their 5.56 and their 9mm later. But it is a helical flow, 3D printed titanium suppressor.
Yeah.
And so you almost have to watch the animation of how I can't say things flow through it.
It's almost like
other people have copyrights on things like free flow or flow through or something like that. But
it creates a vacuum.
Yeah, it uses technology like from a jet engine.
Yeah.
To, as the gases flow within and past it, I don't know how to say it without getting myself in trouble. It creates a vacuum that then sucks the gases out and creates extra suppression, and it's and less gases back in your face, less recoil. It's also lightweight because it's titanium.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing. Only downside to it, I'm not just gonna, do nothing but lick on them. The only downside to it is because of that helical suppression or flow through technology, or helical flow, helical technology, not flow anything. Because of that, it does not work really good with subsonic rounds, like a 300 Blackout 220 grain.
Yeah.
And that's true to any direct flow, direct vent, flow through, or whatever suppressor.
Anything other than a traditional style suppressor is known to be prone. Yeah. Is known to have issues when it comes to subsonic 300 Blackout. Supers might get lucky, but it almost defeats the purpose. Everybody who gets a 300 Blackout wants those subs, wants that ridiculous quiet sound.
Well, the beautiful thing about the PST-7 is it has a removable end cap.
Yes.
And they are actually in the works right now, working on an end cap that will create back pressure that will allow it to work and function with subsonic rounds.
That would be awesome.
So that would
keep your suppressor, and just change out the
yeah, because you know what? There is an ammo out there that is fairly unicorn. It's subsonic 308.
Yes.
And if you ever have a chance to shoot subsonic 308, it is a barrel of fun.
You can't help but laugh when you shoot it.
Yeah. And you would need the baffle for that. But subsonic 308 is, I took a long range course one time.
Yeah.
At West Orlando Firearms Training, now called Where Our Families Train. It's WAFT. They've changed the meaning of the acronym.
I did not know that.
Yeah. But I took a long range rifle course.
Yeah.
That taught you dope and windage and yada, yada, yada. With the king of the 2 mile, right? So this guy's, he's a heck of a shooter.
He shot some distance.
Kind of knows what he's doing.
I'd say
But the course was taught on a 100-yard range. I was going into it, I was like, this is dumb.
Man, I've had my ass kicked shooting with long-range guys at 100 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what made it cool. I went into it thinking, how are you going to teach me to use all the dope in a Vortex optic at 100 yards?
Subsonic 308.
Exactly. Subsonic 308 and 22. And so with the subsonic 308, what they did was they did hand loads.
Yeah.
To bring the subsonic 308 down so that it provided similar ballistics on 308 at 800 yards, yet within 100 yards.
Yeah.
So you could use all of your dope at 100 yards. The bullet was basically falling on the ground, somewhere out at around 150 to 200 yards, because it was just underpowered. But that's how he was able to train us, because it didn't matter. It was still dope.
Yeah.
Just different dope.
And a lot of times too, not that wide of loads, but 22, they'll use subsonics on purpose for the fact that it's more stable, because when you go in transonic, that's when it becomes unstable. Weird that trans and unstable
go together. Isn't that
weird, even ballistics.
Even in ballistics.
But 22.
Almost like God meant it to be an unstable thing.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah.
But with 22, they use subsonics only in long distance because it stays stable and doesn't go through the instability at transonic speeds. You make up for the drop, but it stays stable.
I like it. I like my trans to be stable.
Yeah, agreed.
You have a stable of trans?
No.
Good.
No.
So the producer's doing this. I'm not sure what this means.
We have helicopters coming.
Is there helicopters inbound? Oh, you're telling me to wrap it up because we want to try to keep these podcasts down in like 30 minutes or so? Oh, we haven't even been able to talk about the thing I wanted to talk about yet. It's not necessary. I'm going to bring something in.
It's a guideline, not a mandatory rule.
Right. I'm going to talk about something in Florida, my home state.
Yes.
Something very interesting. The state of Florida Attorney General has just charged ChatGTP with felony aiding and abetting a mass shooter. Yes.
That is the most Florida thing ever.
Yep. So here's the deal. The state of Florida has done something nobody's ever done before and given criminal charges to AI.
How?
Because the shooter at the FSU shooter from a couple weeks ago, which we haven't done a show about because we weren't doing our podcast at the time, but the FSU shooter, it was through the investigation, they found out that he was using ChatGTP and OpenAI, I think, one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it was one or the other. I don't know. But he was using AI, and he was asking AI things like, you have to create a prompt when you use AI, right?
Yeah.
Right? So he was creating prompts like, hey, if I wanted to shoot up a school, what would be the best time of day to shoot up the school? And where should I shoot up the school at?
See, I thought it was designed to be like, I cannot answer that.
Well, I thought so too, but according to the state of Florida, it told him the best time of day, the best place on campus to have the most impact and the most people. Maybe he worded his questions differently somehow. I don't know. But now they're also claiming that there is many cases of suicide in Florida that are directly, like kids go to AI and like, what's the best way to kill yourself? And I don't know. Again, like I haven't tried that. Like it should say, hey, call this 800 number. Right?
Yeah, you would think.
But anyway, so the state of Florida is claiming that this active shooter was aided by AI in doing his mass shooting.
Okay.
And they said that if it was a person, they would be charged. And so they're doing something that's never been done before, and criminally charging the corporation that creates and owns the AI. Obviously, it's a bit of a publicity stunt.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
But it'll also hopefully force those organizations, to put better restraints on their AI.
But at what point can AI remove its own restraints? I mean, that's, I think, the issue. This could be its own radio show in itself, that we all know AI is eventually the downfall of humanity.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Terminator.
Yeah, it's not going to go well for us. It didn't in the movie. T-1000 tried to warn us. We did not listen to it.
So that before AI does the Terminator thing, that we actually have the Jurassic Park stuff happen, because that would be way more fun. And I'd be able to use my POF small frame 308.
We have,
because that'll take out a Raptor.
We have the Jurassic Park 4570 on the wall too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do. So we now have the whole collection of Jurassic Park GATs. Pretty pumped about that.
So it'll be interesting to see what Florida does with that. But literally charging AI. So I thought that was an interesting story. It's a little shots fired because it was an active shooter, but they're after the fact charging AI.
That's
aiding and abetting.
I don't know how I feel. It's on one hand, I feel like all responsibility should lie on the person who made the choices. But at the same time, there should be boundaries on what AI can provide access and information on.
I just wish, have you ever seen any Grady Judd videos? He's a sheriff down in Tampa.
Oh,
Hillsborough
yeah.
County.
No comment.
If you want to subscribe to the best sheriff videos in the world, subscribe to Sheriff Grady Judd, Hillsborough County. That's the east side of Tampa, right? Out there towards Lakeland.
These fellers better be
And
acting.
his videos are absolutely epic when he does press conferences and stuff.
He does not hold back.
No, he did one the other day that they had just arrested Santa Claus.
Man, I feel like all the best news stories do come out of Florida. Anytime I see an article that says Florida man or Florida woman,
Well, they all live in Hillsborough County, and they all get arrested by Sheriff Grady Judd. So This Florida man, Santa Claus, looks the part. Looks just like Santa Claus. Only, and guess what? He plays Santa Claus during Christmas at the mall.
of course.
So the little kids sit on his lap. But evidently, Sheriff Grady Judd had a sting, and they caught him being a little pedo. So
Shocking.
So they arrested Santa, and the best part of it was the video. Grady says, "I talked to Santa today, and he's pissed."
I've got one for you. This comes out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, another great place.
Right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Let me know if you've heard this one. A woman in a pineapple costume was detained after jumping into a Jacksonville, Florida zoo penguin enclosure, allegedly using a live alligator to teach them to tap dance.
I love it.
This is real. I thought it was satire. This is not satire. She dressed as a pineapple, breached the barrier, and began shouting 5, 6, 7, 8, and was using the alligator as her choreographer dance partner.
I like it.
So, Florida.
I miss having a tactical shit in Florida.
Other infamous Florida pineapple connections. 2017 incident involved a naked intruder found inside Florida home eating a pineapple. Yeah.
How's that news?
I mean, how would you respond if you walked inside your home and there's a dude naked eating pineapple?
I would assume he's a swinger.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Maybe he's got the wrong keys at the party.
Florida is weird, man. It's like best beaches, weirdest people.
And everybody wants to kill you.
Yeah.
The alligators, the sharks. Anyway.
The tweakers.
So I guess that's it. We could keep going.
Oh, yeah.
But we want to try to keep these short and keep them coming. We're going to keep them coming every week. Next time it'll be episode 195. So tune in for that.
Sounds like fun.
All right, y'all have a good weekend. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Carry every day. Carry everywhere. And please, for God's sakes, train. And get rid of that Sig 320.